And just so you know, he's only been here a few years, but under his stewardship, the district is outpacing statewide progress. They're exceeding pre-pandemic levels in every category and reaching, get this, the highest levels recorded since the current state assessments were launched a decade ago. Under his leadership, that's happening in the nation's second largest school district. I say this all the time, you're nothing but a mirror of your consistent thoughts. Whatever you focus on, you'll find more of. And I don't think it's such a bad thing that we start focusing on what's right in terms of the investments we made and the return on the investments that we're experiencing. And the superintendent, I assure you, he's the first one to say and acknowledge that we have a lot more work to do. With that, we also have some reforms that I think are long overdue. And I know not everyone may share enthusiasm for these reforms, but I think it's time to modernize the management of our educational system. So the budget I'll be submitting tomorrow proposes that we unify the policymaking by the State Board of Education and the Department of Education, which I believe will allow the State Superintendent of Public Instruction to align our educational policies from early childhood through college much more efficiently. I believe that's important and long overdue reform. Speaking of long overdue, I thought we all made the right decision about getting rid of cell phones last year in public schools. I think everybody can agree on that. And if you don't agree, you're not a parent. Every parent understands this. Our kids are increasingly more anxious, more addicted, less free, less happy, because so much of their lives is lived online. So much of their lives have become performative, right? Measured by external validation, likes and followers. We're watching the spiritual health of our young people erode, quite literally, erode in real time. The vital conversation about what to do, that's played out here disproportionately in these chambers for well over the last decade. So I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of California's leadership, leading the nation in kids' online safety. Thanks to laws that you've passed, including many that I had the privilege of signing just last year on age verification, on chatbot safety, on parental controls. But recently, you saw the headlines. You may have reacted, some of you a little bit more than others, to some of those headlines in Australia. Started making you think, are we doing enough? Can we do more? And so the consequences of getting it wrong, you all understand, it's too apparent. Depression, social isolation, some cases, even marginal radicalization. If you think I'm overstating it, what's going on with our young men? What's going on with our boys? Not just online, but also offline. And forgive me for this. I paint a tougher picture, but I thought it was important. You walk into a morgue, you see 5 young people who may have taken their life by suicide. 4 are men. Boys are 14 times more likely to be incarcerated. Boys, 3 times more likely to die from an overdose, twice as likely to be homeless. 1 out of 7 men don't even have one friend. Half, this is interesting, may not be surprising to some of you, half of young men have not even asked a woman out on a date in person. Men are struggling. Boys are struggling. The good news is we're responding in this state. I was proud to recently issue an executive order that, among other concrete actions, creates a new service challenge. We call it the Men's Service Challenge. We're calling on 10,000 young men to step up as tutors and mentors and coaches and leaders in their communities. I think that's important. We need more young men. By the way, I saw my wife. She was kind enough to stand up. This is not an ad. But about 20 years ago, she did a landmark film about the misrepresentation of women and girls called Misrepresentation. Oprah bought it. It was very well received. 2 years later, she followed up with a documentary most folks forgot about called The Mask You Live In, 2015, about masculinity and the crisis of masculinity. Not in a toxic sense, not in a pejorative sense, but what was happening with men and boys over a decade ago. This issue is a real issue, and it is not a zero-sum issue. This is not a zero-sum issue. We'll continue nation-leading efforts for women and girls, but we have to address this issue. And it's not, again, just addressing the issue through service that's targeted at boys. It's also service that extends through our larger Service Corps initiative in California. I think this is important. California's Service Corps is now larger than the Peace Corps. No other state can lay claim to that. We have service matters. Shared experiences matter. You want to deal with all this crisis and all this stress? Shared experiences. No one's asking who you voted for. No one asks you where you live. Shared experiences. And we have a College Corps program in this state you have funded. Thank you. The College Corps program, unlike anything else in the United States, over 3,500 students are earning up to $10,000 to reduce their cost of education. And what we ask for in return is 450 hours of service. Service. I'm a Sarge Shriver guy. Service, he said, is the heart and soul of what binds us together. Helping personal character, helping with friendships, as well as helping with careers. And on the career front, I also want to highlight something that you funded. I want to highlight the progress you've made. I want to thank you for the commitment. We created the state's first master plan for career education. It was a 3-year